So now for a complete change of pace, here's the old white guy in a suit. Okay, we want to say no to oil. It's just so 20th century. Okay, this is the seminar, the quick seminar. What do we use oil for? We use it for transportation. Almost every bit of our transportation system is almost 100% oil. And guess what? It's also more on our climate change bill than coal is. Coal, oil, if you can figure those things out, we can deal with climate change, I promise you. So if we didn't have enough reasons in the Gulf to stop using oil, number one is what we're doing to our planet. You know what the reasons are, but think about this, $1 billion a day for imports, $1 billion a day that we're sending out of this country. You know, people get upset about the deficit and debt and this kind of thing. $365 billion a year. That works out to an amount per family that would be staggering to people if they thought about it. $1 billion a day for imports, climate change, the Gulf, national security. We're not sending all that money to Canada. We're sending some of it to Canada, but not much of it. Air pollution. You know what? 1/4 of every gallon of gasoline is toxic chemicals called aromatics. 1/4 of every gallon of gasoline. That's one of the reasons our air in the cities is so bad. We're sucking that stuff down. And, oh, by the way, we're spending our lives and our dollars protecting that stuff. So let's see. Transportation, so how do we get rid of oil? How do we go from this where we're all oil? Let's see if we can get a little bit further along. Just in 20 years. Can we do this by 2025? Can we make a start on this? And then can we get to this? Can we get to a place where we're using biofuels for our light-duty fleet and electricity? Can we get to using natural gas for our trucks and our buses? This isn't hard. And then oil all of a sudden is gone. We can use it for an industrial feedstock. We can use it for plastics. We can use it for pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of stuff that oil is good for. We ought to continue to use oil. And some of that oil actually could be made out of biomass. But for now, we've got a picture of where we could go. Okay, so how do we do that? 3 steps. Okay, new fuels for cars. Start out with biofuels. I was just at a session today where people are talking about biogasoline. They're talking about diesel substitutes from algae. This is stuff that we're investing in right now that America could lead the way on. We could really have a lot of our transportation fuel from biofuels, and some of this stuff can drop right into your existing car. Electricity, this is where we have to go with our cars. Everything's going to go electric, and then we have to clean up our electric grid while we're doing it, which is what I mean by infrastructure. We also have to have the ability to plug these things in, of course. And so what about natural gas? Natural gas has got half the carbon content of coal, and so and less than oil. So could we start to move our heavy-duty trucks off of oil right now? This is technology that's routinely in use. It's not like something we have to invent. And we get the air quality benefits as well. And let's shift our freight traffic. Let's move our long-distance trucking not only to natural gas, but we could move it to electrified rail. Why not? And while we're at it, let's get the high-speed passenger rail people have been talking about all this time. Now here's the hard chart, but it's the last chart. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time asking you to look at it. I just want you to look at the 2 lines on the right. This is the oil chart, and the stuff on the left is we had big peaks of more oil as we discover more oil, and gradually the red line is going up because our demand is going up. This chart, what's interesting about this chart, I'm sure you've heard about peak oil. This chart was done by David King, Sir David King, British advisor to the last prime minister on climate. And what he's saying is he thinks that the estimates of Middle Eastern oil are way overblown. This is something that's been talked about down in Texas, but this is a really eminent authority. He says basically right now the supply and demand lines are starting to cross. And what that means is you see those lines diverge. That means the price of oil regardless of what we're going to do, is going to go up and up and up. I mean, think about it. Here we are in the middle of a really bad economic recession, and the price of oil is $70 a barrel. Whoa. What if we really get going with the economy again? It's going to be twice that. And so even if you don't believe in climate change, even if you don't want to clean up the Gulf, even if you don't care about kids choking on the air pollution, we're not going to be able to afford it anyway. So let's get off of oil and get started now. Thank you very much.